Welcome to lesson 2 in this course that we're doing here for this fusible art, and where we're, excuse me, sorry about that. I've got some kind of allergy thing going on, so please excuse my croaky voice. Let's get into this. As you can see, I have my fabric laid out here. Now, when I checked my black fabric, I didn't have a piece big enough for this, so I'm using a steel gray piece in the back. Now, as long as it's about this depth, a little darker, it's good. Navy blues, dark browns, blacks, dark grays, any of those are good for working on because they usually all set up the colors really nice. And you do want your color to show. Now, what I did was I put my printout on it and drew an approximate size around it. As you can see, this chalk size inside here. And this is actually just a little bit, excuse me, smaller than I want it, so I'm going to add just a little bit. No, I think I'll leave it that long and just that way and just adjust it. So you can do what you want to do like that. It doesn't have to be just absolutely exact. Let me move this over a little bit so we can get the two together. Now, when you're working with your pattern, you can enlarge it or reduce it on a printer if you know how to adjust those things. Or when you're cutting that out, you can just simply, excuse me, you can simply cut out the pieces a little smaller. Now, what I want to do here, if I can find my, man, I guess I don't have anything going right for me right now. Let's see. That's not going to cut it. Okay, let me get this one. All right. What I like to do, I print out at least 2 or 3 of these because I usually never print more than 3 of my pattern, but I use my pattern also, as templates. So I will cut out the first, second, and third template pieces out of it. Now, the main thing here is the size of the pot or the pot itself. So that might be my first cut, okay? Then I'm looking at stems, and these are pretty wide on here. So basically, we're going to go down something like that. And this is just a small one. Okay. Now, then I would probably go next to, I don't have a marker here, but I would change colors. Let's see if I can find something else here. And I would probably mark the leaves and cut those out of my second sheet. Okay. All right. That would pretty much get that. The little small things we can decide to add or not as we go. So we've got the first, the orange is our stems in our pot. Then we got our leaves that we want to get out of here. And then let's see, then we need our actual flower sizes. Okay, so this is our third template, is our flowers. So if I need 3 to get these out, I have 3 printed out, okay? Now actually there's another layer, and that is the inner flower size, okay? But you can always cut the first one, and then when you have used that one, you can come in and cut the inner one. So you still, 3 is plenty to go with. Now let me show you, I have marked off my area, okay? And it's done with a chalk pencil, and a lot of times that will wear off as you're working, but it's going to be covered up no matter, because I'm going to put a border, fabric border around my piece. I know that from beginning, and so I will use that as a border line. My border probably won't be more than 1 inch or 1.5 inches, so I've left myself 2 to 3 inches all the way around, and that gives me plenty of space to do the border, and also when I put it in a frame, I can come in on that border and have something to frame to hold on to there. Okay, so you want to get your piece prepped, your background prepped. You want to get some kind of a chalk pencil or something like that, and mark it so that you can work inside of this and know where your outside edges are for when we get ready to put on our fabric border. Then the next thing I would do is I would cut out my flower pot, and you can cut it out as detailed or not as you want. And if you decide that you want it a little smaller, now would be the time to do that. And for me, I'm thinking that I do want mine just an inch smaller. Now, that's a personal preference. Just do it the way you want to do it. I'm just going to make mine a little smaller. I'm also going to make it not quite straight edged. All right. Now, to me, that is a better pot size for me. So I like that, just like that. Okay. Then I need some stems. And I'm going to do my stem, which is this one. And I have another one. Which is this one. Put this one back here. This one came up something like that. This one has a leaf, so it's going to go in there something like that. And then this one was just a little stemmy thing out there. Okay, I can cut out of this first one, I can cut out my main flower elements, just the size of them. Again, this doesn't have to be exact, but this one's going over here. And this one's going up here. And this one's over here. Now, as you can see, I don't have, most of my leaves are messed up. So I will take my second sheet and cut my leaves out of it. I'm going to come in here and this one goes kind of under there like that. Goes. And this one's kind of like this, with this one tucking up in there. We're just getting a sense of placement and balance, where things are going to go. If we wanted to go there, if we want to make any changes to the pattern itself, all of that is definitely doable. Okay, this one is the one that comes across that stem right there. And we've got another one that you can see why you need at least three printouts, because you're cutting up elements as you're going along. All right, and I think I have one that sticks out of the top. Yeah. This one came out like that. Okay. Now, there's our basic layout. We do have, like I said, a stem coming up, a little stem coming up to this one, or a fat one, either way you want to put it. We can put that in there, kind of. Let's see, let's just fake it here and see what it looks like. There you go. All right. See if we can get everything. I'm going to put this on the edge down here. Okay, that's basically our layout within our box, okay? That's our main pieces, our templates, you might say. Now, after I get the big flower, I can always cut the small shape size out of that and come back with that, okay? Now, the pot-wise, I can also use the, to get me some of these, let's say some of these pieces that come across, and I want to cut those out of something else. That one there would be good. And let's say I have this one that comes down kind of like this. This one that comes down kind of like that. So I have those two pieces that I could use for that. Okay. Now I've cut up 2 sheets. I still have another one that I can use as a guide, and just a guide next to me. And let's look at that. Let me get it here. Okay, where are you? There you are. There's our layout. There's our guide sheet. These are just our extra pieces for our pot. But you can see we're pretty much right on, kind of looking here. We'll use our guide sheet for placements unless we want to change stuff around. Okay. This came down like that. This was more like that. This was more like that. And this one, I think, slanted more. Okay, that's kind of the way it looks on the sheet. And so we can play with that. Okay, we know we've got all our pieces here. We know we've got a guide sheet. We can always print more if we need it. We've got our couple little pieces if we want to use them down here. And so at this point, we are ready to decide on the fabrics that we want to use. Now, to me, I would first decide on my pot. What do I want my pot to look like? And then I can decide on what my flowers and leaves are going to be and how I'm going to decorate them and so forth and so on. So let's go through your fabrics and decide what your pot fabric is going to be, knowing that you can layer up, add to it, embellish on it. You can use your colored pencils and things. You can do whatever you want to with this fabric. But once you decide on it, that is going to help you determine what color flowers you want to put with it. I always like to get my pot because then I know what kind of flowers are going to complement the pot, the colors, and the things that I have in it, okay? So that is a beginning for us in the sense that we're getting down to the layout, learning to use our guide print and our templates. And on our next lesson, we will begin to build this pot, okay? We will also need some stem and leaf fabric because as we build this pot, we will be sticking those under part of this pot here before we tack it down. So that gets you a little bit further along on your preparation, your introduction, and in the next lesson, we will actually begin to work with our fabrics, okay? All right, till then, y'all stay scrap happy.